thing that I'll seek with you. I can choose a better way with every little thought I think. When I wake up with bad attitude, fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day I pave the way, every little thought I think. Yeah. Create my own reality. There is no doubt it's up to me. Day by day I pave the way with every little thought I think. What you thinking? 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 What you think? You gotta watch your thinking. I'm waking up feeling blue. I found a thing that I'll share with you. I can choose a better way. Every little thought I think. When I wake up with bad attitude, fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, there is no doubt. Day by day I pave the way, every little thought I think. My reality is up to me with every little thought I think. What I think about, I bring about. What you thinking? 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 What you think? You gotta watch your thinking. Every little thought I think.
Every little thought I think. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I love that. A nice jazzy way to start the day. How is everyone this morning? Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I see lots of thumbs up from our board members who are present here today. Grateful to have you here. Grateful to have you here joining us for our virtual celebration this beautiful Sunday morning. I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz, the minister here at Unity of Tucson, and this is the opportunity that we take every Sunday morning to celebrate what's good in life. To celebrate this understanding that you are love, the energy, the creative energy of love. I'm going to read to you the vision statement for Unity of Tucson. We envision a place of peace, beauty, and power where spiritual principles are taught and practiced within an ever-growing and dynamic congregation. And of course, here are some magnificent faces of the beautiful congregation that we have here at Unity of Tucson that are coming up on your screen as we settle into this song that is first, we did this as a feature, but now that we're going to do it as an opening song for a while. Just a sailor in a great big sea, searching for what's meant for me. And I thank my lucky stars every single day. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. When the storm begins to blow, and when I've lost my way back home, oh, there is an answer. There is a ripple to every wave, a rhythm to the days and nights, and all the thoughts that make the world go round, all our efforts multiply. Make a change and you will see, one small step is all we need. Oh, there is an answer. There is no difference between you and me, what lies beyond our history. And if we only take the time to see we're all we need, just take my hand and see me as a brother. Look inside and you will find love exists in every kind of. There is an answer. love will find us there. And through the dark, oh, I believe that love will find us there. Oh, I believe that love will find us there. Oh, I believe that love will find us there. Oh, I believe that love will find us there. Oh, there is an answer. All right, yes indeed. Thank you so much. Oh, once again, good morning. Welcome to a beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning. Here at Unity of Tucson, we are a spiritual community teaching practical tools for a better life. I believe fully that when we engage spiritual practice on a consistent and regular basis, well, you know what happens? Life just gets better all around. And so that's what we're here to do, to say, let's engage these tools, let's use these tools, let's be practical about involving our life experience, utilizing these tools so that life does get better all around. And you know what? As good as life can be, it can be even better because it is infinite. The potential and possibilities of life's magnificent expression are infinite. If you're joining us for the first time today, I would love for you to reach out, let us know that you have joined us. Go to unitytucson.com/connect. Fill out what we call our Connect card to let us know that you are here with us and that, and let us know something about you. We'd love to know a little bit about you. It is my belief that we can precipitate, we can engage, we can put into practice our own spiritual evolution. What I mean by spiritual evolution is to allow that which needs to shift and change in our lives spiritually to shift and change in our lives without putting any blocks up and not stopping the flow in any way. We can actively engage that. And so that's what practical spiritual practice does for us. Let's read together the words of our mission statement here at Unity of Tucson. Let's read this together. Within the principles of unity, we are a ministry of love, inspiration, learning, wholeness, acceptance, and joy that empowers all people to embrace their divine nature. Your nature is divine, and there is an infinite, infinite truth that I know about you. It is this: you are love, you are light, you are life, you are magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. And you shine forth your magnificence, not because of anything you do, but just because of who you are. So I think we should all exclaim and claim for ourselves, I am magnificent. If you're in the room, if you're online, say this out loud with me right now. Here we go. I am magnificent. Indeed you are. I'm going to invite you to use the chat function wherever you're watching the video to check in, say hello to your friends and neighbors, your spiritual family who are watching with you today here at Unity of Tucson. I do want to acknowledge those who are in the room. Of course, I want to acknowledge Winnell, who's going to be our keeper of the flames today. She's going to be lighting the candles. Grateful to have you here. Our tech crew, Wally, Don, Aiden, grateful to have you here. I know that you are magnificent. We have board members in the room and guests and committee people, and grateful to have you here. And I just want to acknowledge there was a discussion at the last board meeting about what the decisions are going to be around when we do start to open up again for limited in-person capacity services. And I've been watching the numbers, and now the board's going to be like, you said this. I'm going to say, it's going to be sooner than I think we know. And I'm real excited about that. So keep an eye out in the emails and things for information about how we're planning to start to bring people back into the building. But I know that you are magnificent, this magnificent group of musicians. Thank you for shining and blessing us with your magnificence. I'm going to invite us all to relax right where we are, and let's take some time in contemplation, relaxing in the here and now, feeling the energy of those messages of love that are being spread around all over the internet. You know, as we place our energy into those messages of magnificence, we are affirming life's magnificence. So just take in that energy. Acknowledging the energy that affirms, I am, you are, we are magnificent. This month, I wanted to engage the theme of compassion to be a guiding principle for the month. Compassion, in the Buddhist sense, meaning unconditional love. Deepening into the understanding of compassion in our lives, tapping into that heart space. That heart space that looks upon all creation and says, yes, all is well. You are loved. You are lovable. You are loving. And understanding this, irrespective of differences, irrespective of any perception of conflict, let it go and see the world with compassionate eyes. I'm going to read this month's affirmation, and I invite you to simply allow it to resonate. The affirmation this month is, with compassion in my heart, I choose to behold only the God essence in everyone I meet. With compassion in my heart, I choose to behold only the God essence in everyone I meet. Let's sit with that for just a few moments.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free, as I continue walking in this mystery. I choose
to walk in the mystery of life, with the understanding that as I move through this mystery, I am illuminated and enlightened in every moment to the most magnificent sense of self I can possibly imagine. I know that this is so because there is only one infinite power and presence. There is only one creative source. There is only one God. This thing itself, this magnificent principle, is at play in all creation and is all creation. And this is who and what we are. We are this very source energy. We are the infinite principle expressing as us. This is our identity. I root myself in the heart of this truth. And I know that as I move through this experience of life, this thing called life, that I do so with unconditional love, compassion in my heart. And with compassion in my heart, I behold only the God essence in everyone I meet. I see the face of God in all the faces. This is how I choose to be. And so it is with a grateful, an unconditionally grateful heart that I acknowledge this good. I trust in this, I allow this, and I simply let it be. I know this word spoken, the intention of this word becomes the law of life. I trust this. I know this. And I let it be so. And so it is.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day, and I'm more loving every moment, every day, and I am grateful every moment, every day.
Going to invite Winnell to join me on the platform. As we've entered a new month, I have new things to say about each of these traditions. We do this ritual each week called Lighting the Flames of Faith. Good morning. Beautiful to see you. Thank you for being here. We do this ceremony called Lighting the Flames of Faith to honor the faith traditions, the spiritual ideologies, the faith practices worldwide. And as we do so, in honoring them, we are understanding that each and every one of them is born out of love and here ultimately to express as love. And so for each candle that we light, this is the core understanding. And so we light a candle for the Tao. The Tao is the way of ultimate reality beyond the sensory perceptions, transcendent, yet reflected in the human experience. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, focused not on worship, but rather on identification and participation in the whole, honoring reverently and passionately the earth and its intrinsic web of life. We light a candle for Hinduism, Hinduism being a path to the actualization of human potential through the union of the human spirit with the Brahman, or God spirit. We light a candle for Judaism, passionate in the search for meaning. The meaning of God, the meaning in creation, the meaning in existence, the meaning in history, the meaning in morality, and the meaning in justice. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism. Through the eightfold path of right views, right intent, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration, one may rise above suffering. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, a path of personal redemption through accepting belief that Jesus Christ was the promised Savior of humanity. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, a path of peace cultivated in life's total surrender to Allah and guided through the 5 pillars of Islam: the creed, constant prayer, almsgiving, fasting during the holy month of Ramadan, and the pilgrimage to Mecca. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i. The mission of Baha'u'llah was to reconcile and rally the major religions of the world around their common beliefs. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought. New Thought is neither church, cult, nor sect. It asks no allegiance to creeds, forms, or personalities. Standing for universal brotherhood and the right of each person to live their own life in accordance with the highest dictates of their own conscience. For where truth is, there must be reason. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and the presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them, and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. This final candle we light is a candle which represents the healing of any circumstance that requires the revelation of the divine. For that is the true nature of healing, the revealing of the God essence at the core of all creation. And so this is your candle for whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. Thank you. The candle here on your right is our peace candle, which is kept consistently illuminated in this understanding that it represents the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as we allow that illumination to shine forth from each and every one of us, we create peaceful experiences in this world, all centered at the core of our being. So let's honor this candle by reading together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. Thank you. In 1996, I was still in university. I was still in college. I was still a theater major over at the University of Arizona. And in the fall semester of 1996, this was my final year. I graduated in 1997. But in the fall of 1996, one of the shows that I was conscripted to work on, because when you're in the theater department, you have to work on shows. I mean, it's a requirement. But I didn't act in a show that semester. I actually stage managed a show called Over the Rainbow, the music of Harold Arlen. And what I realized is that here is someone who is so prolific as a music writer, and you will recognize so many of his songs, so much of his music, and most people do not know his name at all. Everybody knows Cole Porter and Irving Berlin and George Gershwin, and yet Harold Arlen was just as prolific in the music he wrote. Most people will know him most famously, will know his music most famously because he wrote the entire score to the movie The Wizard of Oz. He wrote Somewhere Over the Rainbow, right? So much of his music is part of like the soul of this country. I fell in love with his music, and to this day, people ask me, well, who's your favorite composer? I will always say it's Harold Arlen. Yeah. The song I wanted to do today is kind of fitting with the jazzy theme you started with. But it's a good one for us here. Yeah.
Gather round me, everybody. Gather round me while I preach some. Feel a sermon coming on me. The topic will be sin, and that's what I'm again. If you wanna hear my story, then settle back and just sit tight while I start reviewing the attitude of doing right. You've got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In-Between. You've got to spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum, have faith or pandemonium's liable to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man, they said we better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In-Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In-Between. My last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man, they said we better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In-Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In-Between.
Thank you so much. So following my graduation from university and having this love for Harold Arlen that I really dove into, I moved to New York City. I've talked about moving to New York City in the past, and I kind of dove into the kind of whole New York cabaret scene. I would go to piano bars, and I listened to nothing but the great, what they call the Great American Songbook, as performed by all the greats, Ella Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday and Mel Torme, and this was my life for basically all the years I lived in New York City. So sometimes people will inquire of me, what was happening in pop culture between 1997 and 2000, and I have no idea whatsoever, because that was what I was living. I was living this kind of throwback to days gone by, a real kind of cultural, traditional New York City that really resonates with my heart. And so you've got to accentuate the positive. It's a great song for us, don't you think? I mean, isn't it essentially what we teach? We've got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. And I love this. Don't mess with Mr. In-Between. Basically, go for it. And don't let anything stand in your way. Don't let anything at all stand in your way. So we have arrived at week 3 in our exploration of the 5 basic unity principles. So far, the first principle, God is. I'm just going to do these a bit shorthand. God is. Second principle, I am, we are. I am, we are. God is, I am. So we've talked about the nature of God. We've talked about the nature of humanity, us, and all creation ultimately. And here's the question. That's really all well and good. It's great to have this kind of intellectual understanding. Oh, God is all there is, and that's who and what I am. Now what? What do you do with it, right? What do you do with this information? How do you actually step forth into action around this information? And that is what it's really all about. You know, it is not enough to simply understand the principle. We can read all the books of all the sages and the mystics of the ages. I know I say this a lot, right? We can read all of this book. We can engage all of this intellectual knowledge and information, and we can say, oh, I'm going to study such and such, and I'm going to study this, and I'm going to study that. But what is study if it does not translate itself into action and experience in your life? This is a spiritual philosophy that is active. It is not a passive spiritual philosophy. It is not, oh, I'm going to just sit back and just let it all unfold beautifully and easily. Although you can do that, but we can activate this principle. We can activate this principle of God is, I am. And so that is what the third basic unity principle is. It is the law of mind action. The law of mind action. We are consistently engaging this law of mind action in our lives, whether we have an awareness of it or not. So if I were to explain what the law of mind action is, I'm going to start with the words of our founder, Charles Fillmore, who wrote this. In the book Christian Healing, he wrote, all manifestation in our world is the result of the ideas that we are holding in mind and are expressing. All manifestation, not some manifestation, all manifestation in our world is the result of the ideas that we are holding in mind and are expressing. All manifestation. And we are not off the hook in any way. What this says ultimately is that the result of our ideas show up as our experience. Fundamental, basic premise of unity principle. And where it all begins is our mind. And you know, sometimes I do this for mind, and sometimes I do this for mind, and sometimes I do a mixture of the two. Because ultimately, mind is not the brain. The mind is that energetic creative field which embodies us, and we embody and is who and what we are. Unity Worldwide Ministries uses this to describe the third principle. You may have seen this on a poster somewhere. We are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. We are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. Now, I am of a personal belief that we have actually moved through part of what this says. I am not of the mind that we are co-creators. That's going to shock some people, because you've always heard we are co-creating with God all the time. We are co-creating with God. We are co-creating with God. Well, that puts God out there, which is the very thing we do not teach. If we are co-creating with someone or something, it is something out there. I cannot be with something if I am something. God is, I am. And so I am not co-creating with God. I am creating as God, as are we all. And we all have equal access to the infinite creative principle and utilize it at all times, once again, whether we know it or not. We are always consistently creating as God. The question then becomes, how shall we choose to create? So there's been a little bit of an update to the language that Unity Worldwide Ministries has put out there in the world. And if you go to Unity World headquarters, to parallel organizations, they actually state the third principle this way. Thoughts have creative power to determine events and attract experiences. So your thinking, your mind, determines the events of your life and attracts experiences. Now, what this says to me is that we must step into the sense of responsibility for our lives. Now, I want to be very clear. I am not responsible to anyone else's experience or expression of life. I am responsible to my experience and expression of life. And when I talk about responsibility, please do not mishear what I am saying, because what I am not saying is we are to blame for the experiences and expressions of our life. And that's the erroneous path that so many in New Thought can find themselves going down so easily when things are not aligning in a way that they feel they would like in their life. Responsibility is the true nature of responsibility is to say, I am the creator of my experience, and irrespective of what has occurred in the past or the way I got to this point, if I do not like my life, my responsibility is to do something about it that is constructive. And I have the power because I am that which is. So we're putting together all three of those principles. God is, I am, and I am consistently creating the experience of my life. There is no blame here. If we get stuck in blame, we will never get past blame, because we'll keep dredging up those past experiences. Keeping them in mind means that we are going to continue to create the constructs of those experiences in our life. We are the creators of our experience, and so we can let that go. And in letting it go, choose to take a creative path forward. So are we creating actively or reactively? Are we choosing to move forward essentially based on the unknown? And I love this idea that, that I carry with me as a spiritual practice. And a lot of my meditations that I engage in on a daily basis fall into contemplating this question. I know nothing. Now what can I know? I know nothing. Now what can I know? What happens when we engage in that? Ellen Davenport is a contemporary Unity minister, and she's written a book on the 5 principles. And this is one of the things she says about the third principle. She wrote this. She wrote, "We create in consciousness." Right? We do. Yes? Yes. Everybody's like, We create in consciousness. Yes? Yes. Okay. I'm seeing nodding heads. It's helpful when there are a few people in the room to get a little feedback. We create in consciousness. However, most of us get the process backwards. We look at what has already materialized, then form opinions about whether we like it or not. That's reactive living. That is reactive living. It is, like I've been saying, looking at the past to make the construct for our future. From those opinions about the thing out there that has already been created, we can end up creating more of the same if we do not decide to take charge of our mind. We have the choice. We are always at choice to view this paradigm, to view the paradigm of our experience as victims or victors. Which do you choose today? What I've really settled myself into is this understanding that the victim is the one who believes that outside circumstances have dominion over their experience and relegates their power to those outside things. If I believe that something outside myself has dominion or power over me, it does. That's the way the mind works. I'm actually affirming the principle because what I believe creates my experience. So if I believe that that thing out there has power, then it will. and it will control me so long as I continue to keep my mind in that frame of reference. The truth is, the creative power is always responding to the frame of mind that we engage in. And so what would I prefer? I would prefer to be the victor, I can see the circumstances. I'm not going to live in denial of what's happening in the world. I'm not going to live in denial about what's happening in my life. I can observe dispassionately without judgment and make appropriate decisions about how I would like to move forward. Too many of us get lost in what is. We get lost. We're like, oh, look at the life, oh, right? And we forget that we have the power to say, while I can look at the things in my life, I can recreate my life right in this moment and move forward. This is the whole point and purpose of developing spiritual practice. The law of mind action is happening whether we are actively participating in it or not. So, let's participate. Let's be activators in our lives of the things we would like to experience. The beginning step of this participation ultimately is the willingness to honestly take stock of what is in your mind. And I have people who say, oh, I don't know what's in my mind. How do I know what's in my mind? I can tell you, here's the great way to know what is in your mind. Look at your life. Look at your life. If the law of mind action is creating the circumstances of our life, then to know what is happening in our mind, look at our lives. Are you living the life of joy and happiness that so many people seek? Are you living a life of forward momentum? Are you living a life of conscious evolution? Are you living a life that you desire? Are you thriving or merely surviving? Because the difference between those two is not about what you do, it's about who you be. Who it is, what it is within you, your mind. What are you thinking? It's reflected all around you. And so I will offer this reminder again. To see what is around you does not mean that you are to blame for what is around you. For while your construct of mind may have created it, it is your construct of mind that will recreate it. To observe and acknowledge is to put yourself in a position of power. To understand that you have dominion over all because you have dominion over your mind. You know, in the creation story, it is said that God gave man dominion over everything. That doesn't mean that God is here to ransack the world. It means that we have dominion over our mind and how we relate to everything in this magnificent universe. That's the dominion that we have. To be put in a place of power, to understand that we have dominion over our mind, means that we can do something about whatever it is we are experiencing. You know, to not do so, this is a weird metaphor. I'm going to acknowledge this is a weird metaphor, but it's the metaphor that came through me this morning. So I come from a family of golfers. And so, you know, there's no expectation that I would become a golfer, although I do enjoy playing golf, and I don't play it nearly enough. I would like to engage in playing golf more frequently. However, imagine that you decide to play golf blindfolded. How well do you think you're going to do in that? Now we can try, right? You know, I can get the club out, whatever club. I'm going to pretend I'm at the tee, so I've got my driver, right? And I get it, and somebody is going to take me, and they're going to align me up, right? They're going to line me up. Okay, and so I'm going to go there, and it's like, all right. And so it's hard to do this in a jacket. And so, all right. And so I think I know where the ball is. I'm not really sure, possibly, but I'm going to just give it a shot, right? Here's the issue with that. You may or may not hit the ball. It's very possible. You could do a drive straight down the fairway 200 yards. It's very possible, not likely. And where might the ball go if you're blindfolded too, right? You could hook or slice pretty severely. It's a lot easier to address and take that swing when your eyes are open. Many of us close our eyes to the experiences of our lives. We close our eyes to right is in front of us. We live in a state of denial that is detrimental to our good. It's like trying to hit that drive. It's very possible you'll just whiff the ball, just not even hit it at all, right? Today I want us to open our eyes, not just keep swinging the club. In this, don't forget to see what is created and know that you can set the tone for what will be. That's really what it boils down to. Yeah, can we create specific individualized experiences? Yes, but I'm much more interested in setting into the tendency of my mind to activate the law of mind action in a way that makes everything show up according to that tendency. I can create. I will tell you, I am a master creator. People contact me for prayer. I pray, and it is done. Easy. I find that to be easy. For my own life, I want to live in the constant state of understanding I am the prayer. Every word that expresses through me is prayer, for it is creative. It is backed by an intention that is creating in my life. That's the power of accentuating the positive, eliminating the negative, latching on to the affirmative, and, like I said before, don't mess with Mr. In-Between. This means there can be no room for willy-nilly thinking. You are in control. Your thoughts are creating your experience, whether you participate actively or not. Wouldn't it be better to actively participate, to take that blindfold off and swing that club and have a nice line drive right down the middle of the fairway? Just laughed that this became a golf metaphor today. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is the great gift that we have. We are in the position to renew our mind at all times. You are an instrument of the law of mind action, and my call to each and every one of us today is to use it, to use it, to use it actively, consistently, thoroughly, so that we can habitualize our minds into the most constructive, magnificent experience of life we can possibly imagine. Namaste. Thank you. So, this week the homework is to take the blindfold off. Take the blindfold off. I want us all this week to spend time taking stock of our lives without judgment, just awareness. Just have the willingness to observe and say, you know what, I see what's happening. I don't need to get triggered by any of it. I don't need to live in judgment around any of it, but I can be discerning in how I choose to move forward based on what it is I see. See what might not be working in your life? And here's the thing, look within. Look within and begin the mental shift. What I am going to encourage us all to do, though, is on this journey, do not share this journey with anyone else. This is for no one else to concern themselves with. This is for you. This is for you, because frequently when we do that, when we share with other people the journey, the spiritual journey we're going through, we don't get a lot of support. So unless you can be assured support, don't share it with others. That's the call this week. And so, I'm going to invite us all to relax, focus on any kernel of truth that resonates, and allow in this moment the perfection that is inherently you to be fully present in your mind, in your heart, and in your experience.
God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. God is, I am.
Right here, right now, in this moment, I resonate in this assured knowledge that there is only one infinite creative power. There is one unified principle within which all other principles exist. There is one truth within which all truths exist. There is one and only one. God. God is. I am. We are. We are this power and presence. This is our core identity. There is no aspect of our beingness that is not fully divine. Knowing this, trusting this, I let my mind settle into the greatest understanding that I am in charge of my experience. Each and every one of us is in charge of our experience. There is no thing out there. There is the allness that is right within. And so I do take charge, and I trust and know that each and every one of us perfectly takes charge and moves forward, accentuating the positive, eliminating the negative, latching on to the affirmative. And there is no need to mess with Mr. In-Between. My eyes are open, and I see and understand and trust and know that I am right now setting the tone for my experience of life now and evermore. And I do so with a grateful heart, infinitely grateful for this unfoldment. I trust, I know, and let it be so. And so it is.
God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am.
Thank you. I'm going to invite us all to let gratitude fill our minds in this moment, gratitude for this community, this spiritual family, all that we offer here at Unity of Tucson, all the ways that we are choosing to be in this world. And I'm going to encourage you to support that gratitude through giving today. Giving of your heart, giving of your time, and of course giving of your treasure, we always say, right? The way you support us financially allows us to do and continue to be a spiritual family and do great things in this community and in this world. We do, of course, want to be here, so that's part of why we give. It's why I give. I want to continue to be here. I want to continue to thrive as a community. And I also remind myself that giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin, and as I keep in the circulatory flow, that I am always receiving more, which always allows me to give more, which then allows me to receive more, which allows me to give more, and it actually expands and expands and expands. So that's one of the great benefits of continuing to give. Money is God in action, so let's activate God in our lives today. There are many ways that you can give to Unity of Tucson. You can, of course, give on our website, unitytucson.com. You can phone in a debit or credit card by calling the office during our regular office hours, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and we are happy to support your giving through that method. You can also send in a check. We happily accept checks. And you can also, if you've got a smartphone, text Unity Tucson to 73256, and you can give in that manner. So many ways that you can support us, and I'm deeply, deeply, deeply grateful for your continued support in the way that we are thriving in this world. To honor our giving today, let's read together the Divine Givingness affirmation. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to my spiritual center, knowing that it goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless, and returns to me multiplied abundantly. I thankfully acknowledge God as my source. And with that, we'll sing God is my source. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Joy gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. So a couple of things to let you know about. There is a virtual gathering today at 11:30. I will be on Zoom. The link for that is on our homepage at unitytucson.com. So I'd love to have some time to spend with you, chat, face to face through the web conferencing technology that we have available to us. We've become kind of a Zoom world in so many ways. There's a song we did last fall called "In This Very Room." In this very room. And I've heard some people online change it to "In this very Zoom." We do still have a call out. We do still need volunteers for doing some data entry in the office. If you are available and willing to help us out with that, please do send an email to Freddie at unitytucson.com, and we can arrange a time for you to come help us out with that. I'm going to remind everybody, I said it last week, if you got Expanding Horizons, the printed version of Expanding Horizons has the incorrect link for the Unitix Happy Hour every Friday at 5 p.m. The correct link is online, and it is in the online version of Expanding Horizons. I was able to fix it for the online version, but we had already done the entire print run, so don't use that to try to tap into the Unitix Happy Hour, which happens every Friday at 5 p.m., but you can get the correct link right off of our website at unitytucson.com. Please do also let all your friends and family know that we are streaming every single week live on YouTube, Facebook, and our website at unitytucson.com/livestream. Let's grow our spiritual family. I really would love to see us, as we start to consider really bringing people back into the room. We have the capacity to become a stronger spiritual family. And so it's up to each and every one of us to reach out and say, hey, there's some greatness happening here. There's something magnificent that I think would resonate with you. And so let's bring some people into the fold. I do want to say thank you to everybody who has made today possible. Of course, our technical crew, Wally, Don, and Aiden, for your magnificent support and service in letting us be virtual, and we will continue to be virtual even when there are people in the room. We will always be virtual. That's part of what I've always wanted to do in ministry, is to have a worldwide reach, and this is the way we can do that. I want to say thank you to Winnell for being here to light the candles and being one of our keepers of the flames. Always grateful for you. And I want to say thank you to the various board members who are in the room today. Thank you for your service. And this band. Yes, thank you so much for always going. It's probably you're probably every month wondering, what kind of interesting, different new music is he going to send us this month? Yeah, it's fun, and I'm having a great time, and I'm deeply grateful for all of you. So as we complete our time here today, let us read together the prayer for protection. But before we do that, I forgot to thank some people that are very important to this entire paradigm, and that is you. I want to say thank you for being here. Your presence in my life is a blessing, and I am deeply grateful at all times. William is looking back. I'm speaking into the camera, William. He's like, well, who's he talking to? All right, now let's read the prayer for protection. Here we go. The light of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And so it is. Amen. This is going to be a new take. A new take perhaps you've not heard on a song that you will know. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine, shine. Everybody, shine, shine. You know you want to shine, shine. All around the world, shine, shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, you know, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Gonna let it shine, shine. Everybody, shine, shine. You know you want to shine, shine. All around the world, shine, shine. When there's light in the soul,
Where there's light in the soul,
there is beauty in the person.
there is beauty in the person.
When there's beauty in the person,
When there's beauty in the person,
there is harmony in the home.
there's harmony in the home.
When there's harmony in the home,
When there's harmony in the home,
there is honor in the nation.
honor in the nation.
When there's honor in the nation,
honor in the nation,
there is peace in the world. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. No, no more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. Oh no, we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. We're gonna let it shine, shine. Everybody, shine, shine. You know you want to shine, shine. All around the world, shine, shine. All my brothers and sisters, shine, shine. Shine your light, shine, shine. Make it a magnificent week, everyone.